there are two different perspectives we need to bring. One, if the organization wants to change the culture, that means people who are the part of the team want to change the culture, their approach is going to be very different. If the top management team or if the CEO wants to change the organizational culture, there is a different path. Let me start with the second one. If a CEO wants to change the culture, I found majority of the times the CEO has to watch his or her actions a lot more carefully and find a way in which those actions are correlating with the words. Reason for that is not only the management team, people 2 levels below, 3 levels below who do not have direct access to the CEO, they only see the actions of the CEO. They may not exactly know the words of the CEO. So if there is consistency between actions and words, that begins to generate a certain trust and a certain willingness to follow the leader. I think that is one very, very important part, and I found that's the one that is most neglected by very intellectual, very capable CEOs. Without walking the talk, the culture change is going to be very temporary. It will be forced. The second thing I found about changing the culture is willingness to be vulnerable. To say, I don't know, I need help, and can you help me so that we can both go much faster? When you raise these questions, I found, and by the way, these are the difficult things for CEOs to raise because the ego and also how other people are waiting to take advantage of the vulnerability, all those situations do happen. But if there is courage to really confront one's own fears, like wherever the person says, that's not going to happen. If you can open that up and make other people to help you, then they start taking ownership in the area where you have weakness. Majority of the times, people know who is in charge. Only problem is that in addition to the CEO, everybody else is also in charge, and you need to help them to take ownership and accountability and responsibility for it. When the team begins to take responsibility for the culture change, not just the top dog or top CEO, then you have 10 times the sustainability for the culture change to number one happen, and number two become sustainable over a period of time. So the last point which I will also say is appreciation. You have to figure out how to catch people doing something right, because more you appreciate people who are doing what needs to be done. That means if some people are demonstrating the behavior you want in a changed culture, make them the role models, amplify their behavior, let what they are doing to be seen by other people. Like Alan Mulally, I have seen him do that consistently in a 777 culture, in making that to be an extraordinary program when compared to Boeing. So first, certain amount of role modeling, walking the talk. Number two, vulnerability and willingness to make other people take responsibility and accountability. And third, appreciating what you see as a changed behavior and amplifying it so that other people recognize, if the CEO is appreciating this behavior, we also want to be appreciated, so we will begin to do it. Like somebody said, it's easier to catch flies with honey than with vinegar. So culture change is a very powerful thing that happens through a lot more appreciative inquiry and honesty and authenticity rather than forced change.